Marilyn Gladue is the newest recruit to the Liberal Party, having just crossed the floor like four others. At this point, can we even say that we have a democracy? The Liberals just gained a majority, not through vote, but through the elected officials that were voted in changing sides. What's the point of having an election? At this point, the Conservatives should just make a bunch of parties, and every week they just change the party. They just go to a different party. There's no point in elections. Why do we bother voting for when every single time we have an election, you can have shit like this where people cross the floor. You then have last 10 years was the NDP and the Liberals had a coalition so they can just pass everything they wanted. What kind of democracy is this? We don't have a democracy in Canada. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Why is floor crossing allowed? They should be forced to rerun the vote in a by-election. That riding in Quebec, where they found ballots that were misplaced or lost after the fact of the election, they had the audacity to go to court over that because the Liberals didn't want to give up the seat. They lost in court, so now they had to take that to by-election. That seat should have immediately been transferred to the Bloc if that was the case. Why do we have by-elections for shit like that? Or when Polyev needed to regain a seat in parliament, and he took the seat from the other delegate that won in the other conservative that won in Alberta. Why did we have a by-election for that? Why didn't he just immediately get put into office? Why is this allowed? This floor crossing, which I would say is more impactful because now you're changing the numbers around. At least if you were to have someone win in the conservative seat and then swap it out with someone else, like we did when Trudeau stepped down, and then Carney, who wasn't even elected, became the prime minister. How was that allowed? How is it that someone who was a private sector citizen, he worked at a bank, was allowed to become the prime minister when he wasn't elected? Why didn't they put someone who was elected to take over for Trudeau? They put him in, and then he ran and won. But until we had an election, he was just some random person that we put in office. So why is that allowed? Like, this is like the third or fourth thing that the Liberals have done that just proves to me and to everyone else we do not have a democracy in Canada.